Good morning, y'all. Hopefully, everybody having a good morning. Hopefully, everybody had a good evening, and hopefully, this is the start for a good weekend for everybody. Right? Good. Uh, I had a decent night. I had the kids, so that's always whatever I'm going through. Listen, no matter whatever I'm going through, uh, I go to my kids for peace, right? I've always been like that. Before Mercy and Major were old enough, I would go to the girls, right? And I don't know if they knew. Well, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they did, right? Pretty sure they did. Um, Whenever I'm hurting, whenever emotionally, mentally, whatever, I would just sort of pull them close, right? And I'm sure I'm not the only parent that does that or feels like that, right? That's like my place of peace, I guess I would say. Um, it made me feel good and sort of forget about whatever it was that was bothering, right? So I say that because, having them last night, and maybe it's just that they keep me busy, right? That our kids keep us busy. Um, Maybe that's it. But it's also like the interactions we have, right? So Mercy and Major, they come to the shop last night. Mercy's bothering all the guys, of course. Yo, come skateboard, come scooter ride with me, come play with me, come draw with me. She goes to each one. And she knows out of all of them who's most likely to say yes, right? So she starts there. And then she'll go to the next softest one, and vice versa. So just seeing her get out of the car and run past, I was like, it felt comforting. Felt very good. And then I see Mage come in, and Mage knows the routine more. He comes in, says what's up. He comes, gives me a hug and a kiss, and then proceeds to say what's up to each and every guy. And that's the routine that we have for the men in the shop. We go down the line. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody get pounds. Mercy, she'll do it if everybody's in there at the same time. But if they're not, she's not going to do it. Major, on the other hand, he will stick to that program because he grew up in the barbershop from the time he was 2 years old until the time he went to kindergarten. Every single day I had him in the shop. So he grew up in there. Um, yeah. So last night it was just comforting. They go next door to the Dominican store and order some food, and we get some food, and then we go home, and I'm fighting with Mercy because she has to take medicine. Right? She don't want to take it. And I want to say it takes literally hours to get 6 millimeters. And I'm frustrated. I'm trying to eat, and I got a steak and rice that I bought from the Dominican spot, and I need to cut it with a knife, so I need two hands. She got me holding her hand, one hand, for the whole hour, I want to say, until she took the medicine. I wanted to just grab it and bam, shove it right in her mouth, right? But what I want to do and what I do is two different things, obviously, in every aspect of my life. So that's how my night was. And then Mercy, she sleeps with me, and Major will play video games out front. You know, he'll play his video game, and it's the same thing. I'll tell him, yo, set an alarm for 11:30, right? Sets his alarm. And it was like a sense of normalcy for a night or for a couple hours, whatever. But I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Uh, you know, and I sort of try to deal with each day as it comes. Today, I'm heading out the door. Obviously now I'm on the way to the shop, and my aunt calls me this morning. And my cousin, who were like brothers, he texted me last night, and I said, "Oh man, all right." My family's becoming aware of what's going on, right? And I've distanced myself from a lot of my family over the past 10 or 12 years, because when me and Rachel first got together, I started to see who was truly there for me, you know, or I started to feel, right? Because once again, that's just my perception. So I started to see and feel who was really there for me, right? And I felt like some of them weren't. And that's fine, because nobody has to be there for me, right? Nobody. Not even my parents. Nobody owes me that. That's fine. Everybody has their own life. But I just know the way I am. And if I'm there for somebody, I'm there for them like 150%. All the way around the board. Not 20%, 150. So I started to realize I'm expecting me out of other people. And when we do that, when we place expectations on other people, the one thing that we know is going to come is letdown, right? Because we should place expectations on nobody. Not that they're going to be nice to us, not that they're going to reciprocate our love, our loyalty, none of that, right? Because nobody owes us anything. Even if we give somebody $1 million, they don't owe us nothing, right? So I distance myself from my family and just say, you know what? I'm going to focus on my family, and my family being my house. That's what I consider my family, right? And also, like Rachel's mother and some of her siblings, because they were always, I felt like they were there for me more than my own family. So once I started to receive that text and the call from my aunt, I was like, here we go. All right. And I know they're so used to me being this certain person, which I'm not that person anymore. Thank God. I'm not that person anymore. But they don't realize that, because over the past 10 years, I've placed a lot of distance between us. So they might see the growth on social media or hear about it, but they don't get to see it firsthand. So they don't realize, all right, this isn't really the same person that we're used to dealing with, right? So they're like, yo, how you doing? Don't do nothing stupid, and I'm sure they're thinking, all right, is he gonna get high? All that stuff. I'm not gonna get high. And I told my aunt, and I know it's just coming out of love because she cares about me, right? She said, how are you doing? It's the first person that asked me that in a long time, right? And I told her, I said, I'm hurt. Emotionally, I'm hurting. Mentally, I'm hurting, all that. But I said, I've been worse, and I've been better, and I know I'll be fine. I'm where anybody else would be, right? Or where anybody else should be. But I'm fine. Not gonna, I'm fine. And anybody that, so me saying that's a very bad choice of words. The word fine in the recovery world, fine is not a good word. It's fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. That's what I am. I'm fucked up, I'm insecure, I'm neurotic, and I'm emotional. So I need to learn to replace that word fine with something else, right? I don't know. I could just say I'm blessed, right? That word, I sort of attribute that word to Rachel, because Rachel brought that word into my life. She has it tattooed on her side, and I got it tattooed on my chest because I copied her. But that word I sort of attribute to her. If there's anybody that there's certain things in our life that instantly remind us of somebody, that word reminds me of Rachel. So I got to find a different word, right? Um, so yeah. So I'm gonna go to work right now. I'm preparing that mask. I got my makeup on, and I'm gonna move throughout the day as if everything is fine. And just realize that something that I tell my kids and anybody that'll listen, right? We control nothing. As men, as humans, as women, we control absolutely nothing in life. You know what I control? I control from this finger to this finger. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I control my physical movements. At times, I can't even control my emotions, right? My thoughts. Can't control none of it. I control my physical movements. I definitely can't control somebody else's, right? Now we're really getting. If you think that, motherfucker, you got a lot to learn. So I just realized, you know what? I'm going to go throughout my day, let the chips fall where they must, and deal with it, just like everybody else, and like every other day that I did in the past, right? Am I hurting? 100%. Is this what I want? Absolutely not. Um, but that's what life is, right? That's what life is. And something else that makes me realize is that me having to deal with this is going to make me a better man. It's going to make me a better father. That's what it's going to make me. Will I go and start dating? Absolutely not. Will I try to replace her? Absolutely not. That can't be done. Will I care about her and love her for the rest of my life? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a feeling, if I'm blessed to live to 80 years old, right? And if at 75, I look back and watch these videos, I'll probably start crying then, right? And it's not going to be because of anything more than realizing, I think, at life, if we're lucky, if we're lucky, we find somebody that we allow in our heart, and and changes the way we view everything, if we're lucky, right? For me, that's Rachel, right? Yeah, if we're lucky, right? So I'm very lucky to have that, right? 5 years, 10 years down the line, uh, will I find that again? I doubt it, because I think a lot of things have to happen for you to find that, right? Timing, the right person, but most of all, you have to be vulnerable. And I don't think, after going through all this, that I'm gonna be vulnerable. That I don't. You know, I'm not gonna allow somebody else in those places that I allowed her, right? So I'm at the shop. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a great day. Remember to be kind, loving, and patient. And please, everybody, pray for me, pray for Rachel, pray for the kids, pray for us all, right? Um, and Rachel, if you watch this, I love you. Hope you have an awesome day. And miss you making my coffee in the morning. I make my cup, it's not that good. So I miss you making my coffee amongst other things. I hope you have a good day. And yeah, that's it. All right. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you're not. Um, I hope this is a little easier for you than it is for me. But love you. Have a great day. Thank you guys.